Hello, Shanker. And everybody's talking about a sixth planet conjunction which is going to happen in pieces. I only want to draw attention on two things. One is Mercury debilitated, people say it's bad, but I say that Mercury debilitated has Venus sitting there. It causes a Raj Yoga. A. B. People are saying that this conjunction can create a lot of problems. I do not agree because there is an exchange of Jupiter and Venus. Jupiter and Venus exchange कर रहे हैं. Venus के Jupiter के घर में Venus है और Venus के घर में Jupiter है in transit. तो when there is an exchange of Jupiter and Venus, तो ये जो pieces है ये strong हो गया. जो भी planet हो, Jupiter उसका lord, उसके अंदर strength दे रहा, अपनी energy दे रहा है, which is the most important planet, which brings wisdom. कि जहां भी wisdom आएगा वो अच्छा हो जाएगा. So these are two very important things which are being not talked about. Therefore, take these two things into consideration and then talk. Saturn and Rahu conjunction is at the ebb. Saturn घुस रहा है. Saturn is still not conjuncting the planets in 7-8 degrees. जब तक 7-8 डिग्री पहुंचेगा तब तक all planets will be out. So therefore, yes. And what does Saturn do? Saturn creates structure, order and discipline. तो जो चीज स्ट्रक्चर ऑर्डर डिसिप्लिन करने आई है और जहां पर जुपिटर की एनर्जी इतनी स्ट्रांग है, आई डू नॉट सी एनीथिंग नेगेटिव हैपनिंग फॉर इंडिविजुअल्स और फॉर द नेशन. Mundane and internationally is very big because every country, I've explained my video earlier, has its own energy. But even for individuals, it is not going to do anything wrong. Only thing it will do is that it will make a person. Mercury जब नीच का होता है आदमी को selfish बनाता है कि मैं अपने लिए करूंगा. I want to do things for myself. That is what it will do. मैं मेरा देश, मैं myself. That is what Mercury does. जो मेरे लिए अच्छा है वो मैं करूंगा. I don't care. बगल वाले को 2 रोटी देना है, इसको कुछ हेल्प करना नहीं. First is me and myself. That is what will be the manosthiti of people. That's all. Otherwise, it will lead to into technology. It will lead to a blast in technology. Technology को बहुत आगे करेगा. थोड़े से documentations, the way trade is done, the way the documents have been made, there will be some changes. I will explain you why do I say this and what will be the total impact. Now, what we forget is that all the planets in pieces look at Virgo. वो साइन विर्गो को देखते हैं और विर्गो को आपको जुपिटर भी देख रहा है अपनी 5वीं दृष्टि से. राइट, इट इज इन टॉरस और विर्गो को 5वीं दृष्टि से देख रहा है. मंगल जो मिथुन में है वो अपनी 4थी दृष्टि से देख रहा है, which is not supposed to be a very good दृष्टि of मंगल. तो the most important thing which I want to draw here is that all 9 planets are looking at Virgo. You should shift your mind from Pisces to Virgo. So what will happen is the changes what Virgo signifies. Virgo signifies business और business के अंदर जो documentation होता है, जो trade होता है, उसमें changes. Business also Virgo also says going against partners. जो आपके पार्टनर्स हैं, चाहे वो बिजनेस में हो, चाहे वो देश हो, चाहे कुछ भी हो, उनके अगेंस्ट आप काम करिए. इट सिग्निफाइज डेट्स. जिस तरह पैसा चलता है, जिस तरह आप जिस तरह पैसा उधार लेते हैं बिजनेस करने के लिए, अपने लिए या देश की प्रणाली के लिए, दैट विल चेंज. A great amount of revolution in terms of how do you take care of diseases, in terms of technology. It is Virgo is a planet, is a sign जो कहता है मेरे को दो, जो कुछ है वो मेरे को दे दो, और वहां केतु बैठा हुआ है. Remember something. So all 9 planets are looking at Virgo. 7 planets from pieces are looking at Virgo, where of course Ketu has to be there, and 2 planets are looking at the sign Virgo. The Virgo will be the most important sign. Virgo हमारे लिए most important sign है, and the changes which will take place for anybody will be with respect to the sign Virgo, which deals with enemies, diseases, debts, changes in partnerships, uh, 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 enhancement of occult things under the earth, the way you deal with people on paper, so on and so forth. Everything which Virgo signifies. So that will be the major factor. I am going to shift the focus from Pisces to Virgo, because ये सात जो planet दृष्टि देता है बहुत पावरफुल हो जाता है. तो ये जो planets हैं, ये दृष्टि जो सातवीं, और सातवीं दृष्टि is always a दृष्टि of the opponent, सामने वाले की दृष्टि है. तो it is a दृष्टि on Virgo. So what will happen here is कि person, इसीलिए मैं कह रहा हूँ बार बार, वहाँ पर अपना आदमी जो है और दुनिया जो है, दुनिया के लोग हैं, वो खाली अपने बारे में ही सोचेंगे. And enemies, diseases, debts, changes in partnerships, relationships, technology, the way you deal with speculative money, how you earn money from speculative deals, how are you going to do things for education, because it's second from fifth. So you keep on seeing kahan kis house se kya hai ye Virgo. That is the area of which will be in where you have to focus yourself on, not on so much on Pisces. Pisces is important, but Virgo becomes equally important. Now coming to Rashi-wise, I'll quickly tell you how to analyze a few Rashis. This transit is very bad for Pisces Rashi. जिनकी भी मीन राशि है, उनके लिए 29 मार्च से 4-5 दिन इधर और 4-5 दिन उधर, उनके लिए टेंशन रहेगा. कोई भी चीज कर रहे होंगे तो टेंशन रहेगा. तो इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट Pisces राशि. एंड व्हाई डू आई से दिस? आई से दिस बिकॉज आपका जो मन की स्थिति है, मनोस्थिति जो है, वो आपका मून दिखाता है. व्हेन चंद्रमा इज कंजंक्ट विद सो मेनी प्लैनेट्स, तो वो आपकी मनोस्थिति खराब करेगा. एक तरफ राहु है, एक तरफ शनि है, एक तरफ शुक्र है, एक तरफ मरकुरी है, बहुत ऑल 6 प्लैनेट्स आर देयर. तो मनोस्थिति खराब करेगा. तो हम लोग ये कहते हैं कि जब भी एस्ट्रोलॉजी में मनोस्थिति खराब है तो आदमी परेशान है. अब वेदर वो परेशानी उसकी अच्छाई में बदलती है या उस परेशानी से वो परेशान हो जाता है, दैट विल डिपेंड अपॉन बेसिकली योर लग्ना, your division charts, and various other things which we have to see. The nakshatra, I mean, large number of things before we can conclude. So this is how you have to see the transit of the 6 planets. The transits of 6 planets, again I repeat, looks at Virgo, where Ketu is already there, and this Virgo is also looked by Jupiter and by and Mars. So all 9 planets are focusing on Virgo. All 9 planets. आप 6 planet की बात कर रहे हैं, मैं कह रहा हूँ सारे 9 planets आपके Virgo को देख रहे हैं. And that is the most important. और Virgo ऐसी जगह है जो कि अपना पहले देखता है. तो इसीलिए मैं ये कहता हूँ कि कुछ नेगेटिव होगा ही नहीं. Because Virgo signs first says, let me protect myself. मेरे को क्या मिल सकता है? So there can be some disturbances here and there in your dealings, in paperwork, in partnerships, in relationships, in various other things. But कोई त्राही या कोई असमंजस जिसे लोग कह रहे हैं वो नहीं हो सकता. Coming to various rashis, I was talking about Pisces, जिसको केयरफुल रहना चाहिए. एंड आफ्टर Pisces आई टॉक्ट अबाउट एरीज. एरीज में ये जो 12 और 6 है, मतलब Virgo और Pisces खाली देखिए, वो आपका 12वां घर और 6ठा घर का होता है. तो 6th और 12th एक्सिस आपका इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाता है. तो 6th और 12th एक्सिस में बी केयरफुल एनिमीज, डिजीजेस, डेट्स, expenses, if litigation, going to jail, hospital, asylums. Also it is good for spirituality, but also it is good for taking care of your enemies, dealing with them, redrafting your deals. तो जो negative चीजें उनकी भी positive कर सकते हैं. That is free will which is there. Now we come to Taurus में this becomes your this axis will become your this axis will become your 12th will be your 11th, and 6th will be your 5th. It will become your 11th and 5th axis. So actually very good for Taurus. Taurus के लिए it is a time when you can go for gains, when you can go for networking, you can go for making money, buying gadgets, increasing your aura, increasing your आपका जो छाप है, आपकी जो वर्चस्व है उसको increase कर सकते हैं. Good for education, speculation, shares, big deals, funding, financing, taking money from the public, etc. So many things which are there. It is good for these things, but again, you have to look deep into it. These things can be negative if your dasha, antardasha are not favorable to you. Your D charts are not in favor to you. Your nakshatra is not there. See all other things before you come to a conclusion. But this is where the axis comes in. When you come to Gemini, the axis will become axis will shift to 8 and 2 because 3 and 6. Just count it for yourself. Gemini, 6th house will be 3, 4, 5, 6. It will be 4th and 10th axis. So 4th and 10th axis again, good for property, good for dealing with your household activities, good for domestic peace, happiness. That comes in focus. 10th is your profession, prestige, good karmas. All those things would come when it comes to Gemini. But you have to also see that 4th house also has Ketu there that can give you a separative influence from your family. You can have issues. Ketu is a planet which gives a tendency to give separation. So whenever in this transit, whenever Ketu is there, wherever Ketu comes, that will give a tendency of separation, changes. But the changes, you can go home to do something good in your profession. You know, that's how you have to see it. So that's how you have to see when it comes to Gemini. When it comes to Cancer, it would be your 9th and 3rd axis, which would come into Cancer. Means मेरा मतलब है आपका Cancer Kark. Then your 3rd and 9th axis will become important. So contacts, computers, communication, fortune, elderly people, spirituality. These things will come into play, the 3rd and 9th axis. Also be careful when you're in relationship with your brothers. Unke bare mein, don't try to fight with people, deal properly with papers, because Ketu is again in your 3rd house. So there will be a separative influence there. But 3-9 axis comes into play. Now when you come to Leo, your 2nd and 8th axis comes into play. जहाँ सिंह राशि का होंगे 2nd and 8th axis. 2nd and 8th axis will be family, finance, not a very great axis. Family, finance, joint finances, inheritances. आप गड्ढे में ना गिर जाएं. Danger, anxiety. You can go towards occult. You can go for a spiritual journey. You can go for a wellness exercise, wellness campaign, a wellness place where you feel good, etc. So anything which concerns 8th occult, it could be good, but be careful when you are talking about finance and structured finance. That should be important. So this is how you have to analyze the axis. When it comes to Virgo, that is Leo के बाद Virgo आपका आएगा. तो 6th and 12th means when if you are in the Virgo Rashi, मतलब आपके Rashi Virgo है, तो 1 and 7 axis would come into play. That is you yourself and then your partners, business, relationships, wife, open enemies, so on and so forth. Those things which are related to 7th houses, 1st and 7th house axis would come into play. That is how you have to look at it. Similarly, when it comes to, so that is how you have to look at things in terms of when you are going there. When it comes to Libra, then it would be your when it comes to Libra again it would be your 12th, and the 6th would be 12th to it, and 6th again the 6th and 12th axis will come into play. So this you can do it yourself as you keep on shifting your Rashi. You would see where in what axis is Virgo and Pisces falling at. So whichever axis they are falling at, that will be the area of focus. As I have tried to explain you very quickly, from Aries to Libra, that will become your area of focus. So I mean, I'm sure that it is not going to be a very good time for, in terms of manosthiti, in terms of your you know your man ki sthiti, your emotions, for pieces, for certainly not going to be, not a very good time for, even for those who have got Virgo Rashi. But then other Rashis, you have to see where this axis 12-6, I mean the pieces and Virgo axis, how it falls. It falls in 1-7, 2-8, 3, 2-8, 3-9, 4-10, 5-11, 6-12, which axis it falls in, and what is its relationship with the Rashi. Now remember, when you see things from Rashi, it will only give you a kind of a worry towards those areas for sure, but it will not let those things happen. You may feel worried with those areas, but making those things happen is the job of Lagna, the Dasha, the Bhukti, which Dasha Bhukti has to apply, the Sublord, the Nakshatra, which are your Dagda Rashis, what is your birth yogi, what is your avyogi, and so many other things you have to see before we come to a conclusion. So please do not be scared of this 6 planets together, and as people repeatedly keep on saying, end is going to come, doom is going to come, not good for people, recession, etc., etc. I do not think it will be to that extent as people are saying. It would be, let me finish the video by saying that it would be something कि भाई ये कागज लो, इसमें ये 5-6 कागज चेंज कर दो, चीजें चेंज कर दो, आप उनको चेंज करके वापस करिएगा, and it would be business as usual. I mean, it's 2 people sitting. Imagine that in your life. That person says, okay, I don't like this, I don't like that, I don't like this in you, I don't like this in you. You say, okay, I will change this, I will change this, I will change this. Both of you will agree to that, and then life moves on. That could be the only thing that could happen as far as the international world goes. Now, if in your individual Rashi, I've told you how to see it that way. And if you don't understand it, do connect with me, do talk to me. 9818733000 is my mobile number. Only WhatsApp message, contact and consult there if you want. Thanks. Bye for now.